Are you currently working very hard at your job, yet your less hardworking colleagues are constantly getting promoted before you? You are reliable, dependable, and you know everything about your job. And all you want and expect out of your hard work is to be recognized and to be promoted. Yet, you continue to see less hardworking colleagues get promoted and get paid more than you do. This makes your work frustrating, unfair, and sometimes you just want to give up. Well, I'm here today to share with you the real reason why companies don't reward your hard work and 2 actual strategies that could actually help you get promoted faster at your 9 to 5. Hi there, my name is Shao, and I've spent the last 12 years working in both finance and tech. Let me begin by saying that hard work is important in any job out there. In fact, I grew up being taught by my parents and teachers that hard work will set me up for great success. So this is something that has been wired in us since we were young. And after I started working, I realized that the biggest career mistake I've made was thinking that hard work is correlated to success at the workplace. Because while everyone who's anyone in the corporate world constantly tells us that hard work is important, very few of them actually reward people for their extra hard work. Because if that were the case, then people like teachers in public schools, who are often the most hardworking and dedicated, they should be paid more than the school principals and school administrators there, but they are often not. And even if you did get promoted by working hard, then you are in a company that requires you to work even harder to get further promotions. So you just got to keep working extra hours and keep working on extra projects until you eventually get burned out. So the harsh truth is that companies already expect hard work. So in my time working in all my previous companies, the process of getting promoted is rather similar. All the leaders will enter into a private room. They will each nominate someone in their team to be promoted, and they'll proceed to discuss or even argue among themselves who deserves the promotion the most. And once in a while, a leader will nominate someone in his or her team who is really hardworking to be promoted. And more often than not, that suggestion will be shot down. And the number one most common reason that the rest of the room will say is that, okay, being hardworking is great, but we already expect all our employees to be hardworking. So being hardworking is not enough for getting promoted. I'll give you another example. Early in my career, I was fortunate enough to have a very senior director be my career mentor, and he shared with me this harsh career reality. He told me, if you are the best at what you do, I will keep you there. He then explained how difficult it is for companies to find someone who can actually do the job and to train and to invest in that person. And if that person is reliable and hardworking, it is way easier to keep that person there and to deny his promotion for as long as possible. That sounds unfair, right? But if you look around your office, you may notice some colleagues of yours who are really hardworking, but they're stuck doing the same job over and over again, and they're being ignored for promotions. So instead of just working harder and harder, here are the 2 actual career strategies that can help you get promoted faster. Strategy number 1, do less, lead more. I actually learned this from the same career mentor that I mentioned earlier. He challenged me to redefine what hard work means. And instead of doing more of what I'm being assigned to, such as working harder or working longer hours, I should take the lead in doing tasks that I'm not assigned to. So tasks that will help my immediate boss or my overall team, but it's not part of my overall job scope. This also means moving from being reactive and doing what you're told to being proactive. Example number 1, every Monday, be my boss. So every Monday, 9 a.m., I have a notification in my work calendar to remind me to act like my boss. I will spend some time that Monday morning putting myself in my boss's shoes, and I will identify some key tasks that my boss needs to do that week, and I'll proceed to get it done for him. For example, if there's a team meeting that my boss needs to lead that week, I will ask him if I could help him prepare the presentation slides. Or even better, I simply went ahead and prepared the presentation slides and emailed it to my boss that Monday. In the email, I will say something like, hey boss, here are some talking points that I think are relevant for your team meeting later this week. Feel free to use it or just ignore it. Many times, my boss won't even reply my email. But over time, he did share with me that he did open up my email and he did pick up 1 or 2 useful points. Example number 2, every Friday, update my boss. At the end of each week, I have another notification in my work calendar that reminds me to share something that I have learned or discovered during that week with my boss. For example, early in the week, I've met up with some customers and I asked them about their feedback about the company's latest products, what they like and what they don't like, what worked and what didn't work for them. So come Friday, I'll simply stop by my boss's desk and share with him something like, "Hey boss, I just met up with this customer and they really like our latest products because of reason A and reason B. Perhaps we can start reaching out to other similar customers because of this positive feedback we got, and we should be able to sell more." So what this creates is a situation where my boss gets constantly updates from me. And if he is ever asked by his own boss how things are going, he would already have an update ready to share. So by doing this consistently every week, every Monday and every Friday, my bosses started to see me as someone who is not just hardworking, but someone who is proactive to lead and proactive to help the business. Now put yourself in my boss's shoes. When it comes to giving that promotion, who would you give it to? Someone who proactively helps you every Monday and updates you every Friday, or someone who is just hardworking but doing the same task all the time? Okay, let's move to strategy number 2, which is up or out. There are many research out there that shows that people who stay longer in their company actually get paid way lesser than people who switch jobs more often. So what this means is that for the same job and the same amount of effort that you're putting in, someone else out there is willing to pay you more money for it. That makes sense because you're already well trained and experienced, and these companies are willing to pay more for you to bring that expertise to them. Yet often I see people stay in their same job and their same company for far too long. Companies these days will not hesitate to lay you off or to outsource your entire job to a cheaper location or to replace you with AI, as long as it means that they get to save more costs. So you should not feel obliged to stay loyal to a company unless they are making that effort to promote you and give you opportunities to grow. Hence, up or out just means that you should be going up in your career. If not, you should be looking out for a better role. A good career tip that I have for you here is to have at least one interview every 6 to 12 months. And even if you are happy with your current role, you should still be out there interviewing. Speak to headhunters and network with recruiters from similar companies. Now you see this most clearly in the world of sports and entertainment. Professional athletes often change teams for a bigger contract, and artists often change record labels. So while it is a chore and even nerve-wracking for you to constantly put yourself out there and be interviewing, it's ultimately an investment into your own income growth. So there you have it. The highest paid people in the corporate world are often not the hardest worker in the room, but they're often strategizing how to become leaders and always on the lookout for better opportunities outside. So now that you know how to get promoted faster at your job, you can watch my other video of how I was laid off by Google, but I was able to achieve my financial freedom. Also, please subscribe if you want to learn more tips of how to grow your 9 to 5 income. Till next time, good luck and keep building your 9 to 5 millionaire mindset.